Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today I have a very distinguished guest here with me. He's a specialist with the U.S. Army, and we're going to be showing an M4 he's brought up. It's made by Sauer, and the reason I'm bringing an M4 again to my channel is because this one is quite different to the regular M4 that we're used to see. In the previous video, you already saw an M4 that I showed. Let's say again, it's a regular one, but this one is quite different. It's got a different system, and he's going to be showing us about it.
First off, I would like to say that this is a gas rod system AR-15. All right, and what that means is it's not a direct impingement system where when the trigger is pulled, when the round comes out the front, it shoots direct gases, carbon, into the breech and cycles the bolt. With this system here from Sauer, it pushes a rod system, not a piston, a whole entire rod system that cycles the bolt. And what that does is that keeps your weapon clean, and it's pretty much kind of like an AK system with the gas piston system, but in an AR platform. So you have the precision, you have the accuracy of your AR, but you also are going to have the reliability of an AK-47. It's to hell and back reliability with the Sauer. A couple things I would like to talk about. First and foremost, this feature on this weapon, we're going to come up to the front. Here, there's a gas regulating system. That regulates the gas system on the piston-driven rifle. And why is that important? Why is that such an ideal? In the Army, we have a weapon called the 240 Bravo. It's a machine gun made by FN, and that also utilizes a similar system. When you're out in the field and you're shooting thousands of rounds of ammunition with your machine gun, 7.62, it tends to get dirty. It tends to get dirty real fast. So what our operators do in the field with the 240 Bravo, the machine gun, they'll adjust the gas system, keep that weapon moving, keep that weapon cruising, so they can continue on the fight. This has a similar system. Come over here to this side. The first notch here that you see is a normal standard operating notch for the gas piston system. See that? Now you've been shooting all day. Maybe you've been shooting for months out in the field. You don't have the opportunity to clean your weapon. Okay? For whatever reason, you need to keep fighting. First thing you do is click it over. That one little notch right there clicked over. Now you're putting more gas through the system to cycle that bolt to keep on fighting. Alright, another system we have here, we push that detent down right here and you continue cycling. There's another notch right there, if you can see that. That notch right there is making your weapon ready for a silencer on there. It's making it ready for a silencer. So what that means is that I could attach a silencer to the front of this weapon and it will cycle and function properly. If you was to do that normally, this weapon wouldn't cycle, because the silencer is going to affect the timing of the system on the gas rod system, and you'll have malfunction after malfunction. What that does is makes the weapon reliable. You don't have to do any gunsmithing, you don't have to mess with the gas system, it's already done for you on this system. Another thing I like about this system, if you continue all the way down, you continue to cycle this all the way down till you get to this last detent over here, what you effectively done is shut off the whole entire gas system on this weapon. Now why is that good? Okay, that's good for a number of reasons. You could take a much more accurate shot. You could take a much more accurate shot because you're shooting from a closed bolt system. This motion here is not going to affect how the system is going to shoot at all. You're not going to lose any fractions of a centimeter, millimeter, anything. It's going to be shooting like a bolt action rifle, essentially. Another thing too is that you're going to be putting more propellant, more gases to the bullet to make that bullet go further down range. You're going to have more range, you have more accuracy, and you're also going to have more power in each round. The downside to that is that every time you pull the trigger, you're going to have to cycle the bolt every single time. So if I pull the trigger on that system, the bolt won't cycle. I have to charge the weapon again to shoot it again. That's the only downside. But it helps save ammo, makes you more accurate, makes you more powerful. So couple that with a scope, and you effectively have a sniper rifle.
So going back to the gas system here, you said you had two notches. That if the gun becomes dirty, then you can make it one click and then blows more gas to operate the recoil of the gun.
Roger.
Does that affect in any way the range of the bullet and the trajectory, the velocity?
Well, you're gonna have maybe a few grains less of gas from the cartridge to propel that round forward. Okay, so yeah, maybe minimally affect the range, very minimally, but if you're in that situation where you have to use that, it wouldn't matter at that time because you're still able to send rounds downrange. The other thing you might feel will just be a slight more on the recoil, very minimum. You're not going to feel hardly anything. You probably won't even notice it, to be honest with you. But that would be the only difference on that.
What about you talk about that you can place a silencer on this gun, and then in that case you will adjust again the gas piston system here on the front.
There was two different systems you mentioned. The first system with the silencer system, once again, is this notch right here. Okay, it's different. This is the regular gas system notch. It's a big groove right there. That's system 1, system 2, right there. 1, 2. That's gonna just operate it normally. This notch here is for the silencer. So you put the silencer on there, it's ready to go. You don't got to make any more adjustments to your system. It's going to cycle the bolt will cycle with the silencer on there. It will not cycle when you close out the whole bolt system. That's this notch on this side. That's when you rotate this all the way across. I'll do it for you. You go this way, you rotate it all the way until you get to this one here. See, now those are the big divots there. That's the silencer divot right there. And now you have the closed bolt, the closed gas system, excuse me, divot right there. Now I have to cycle each shot because now the whole gas system is disconnected.
So when you say the gas system is disconnected, yeah, is that no gas is coming back?
Roger, no
towards
gas.
the bolt, and then because of that, the bolt won't get recycled and you don't get the recoil. So you have to actually manually cycle every
shot.
It's
going to give you a little longer
just
range power.
like a bolt action rifle.
That's correct.
Get you more range and more accuracy.
More accuracy, a little bit more power.
What else you want to say about this gun?
There's a whole lot I want to say about this gun. It comes with what's this called?
Picatinny rail?
It comes with the Picatinny rail, that's correct. This weapon comes with a Picatinny rail system, quad rail, and a full top.
Let's talk about the caliber of the gun. It's 5.56, which is a NATO military cartridge. What is the difference with the .223 Remington?
Okay, the difference is this. Now,
I ask you because you put both cartridges side by side and they look the same.
they look identical.
It's the same. They're identical as far as the dimensions of the cartridge. It's identical. It's the same. So what is actually the difference? Why the difference?
The difference is going to be two things. The round inside here that you can't see for the 5.56 is going to be longer. There's going to be more lead. It's going to be longer. The design is going
to... So the actual bullet
the actual bullet
longer.
Is actually longer. Not only that, it's like the end of the round curves in. It's not just a flat piece like the 223 would be a smaller round. It'll just be this.
Can we call it a bobtail?
Yes. And the 5.56 is generally a hotter round. It has a little bit more powder in there, and it's designed to be a little bit more powerful than 223.
So more powder means more higher pressure.
Higher pressure, correct.
Which translate into higher velocity.
Exactly.
Which translate into higher energy.
That's it.
Okay. We're getting there.
Oh, yeah.
So actually, one of these guns, chamber for a 5.56mm, it's able to handle the .223 because it's less energy cartridge, right?
That's correct.
But it's not the other. It can't be the other way around. You should not put a 5.56 into a .223 gun.
That's
it
correct.
may damage the gun.
Roger.
It will shoot it, but it may damage the gun.
That's correct.
Anything else you want to add to it?
All right. There's two things about carbine that you need to know. Inside here is a start chamber. Okay. Now, when you're shooting a weapon, especially this kind of weapon, AR-15 platform, you get a lot of grime and dirt and dust in there. And if you don't clean it, that grime and dust and dirt starts to coagulate, starts to get crusty. And what will happen is you could actually have a bolt seize into there where the bolt won't come out because it's kind of stuck in there from the heat of the weapon being used, and then it just pressurizing and then getting stuck. That could actually happen. So you want to make sure that this is clean all the time. After an engagement, if you have the opportunity, you clean that. All right. Another thing I would like to show is right here. See this little detent, this little knob right there? That knob, it's very simple. No big deal, just a little knob there, but it does a hell of a job. And what that does, it minimizes the movement between the upper and lower on your weapon. That means there's not going to be that wobble sometimes you get with a standard AR-15. It's going to be very minimal.
So that's different actually from the...
That's the difference in the lower.
In the lower, yeah.
And also, this lower here, it's a little bit thicker, it's a little heavier than a standard AR-15 lower. You know, it's
kind of beefier.
It's beefier, that's correct.
So you're talking about the receiver here,
the
if you touch it, I mean, I know the gun, so you can feel actually it's a heavier, thicker metal.
Yeah, but that's another thing too. You know, having the right kind of weight, and you're in the field. If you're shooting, if you're moving, if you're doing different things, you want to be as light as possible. But sometimes, you know, you want reliability, and you have to just meet it halfway. You know, you could have a super lightweight weapon, but is it going to be as reliable? You're going to have all these other features, and it's going to keep it running. So what I did was I sucked it up. I got a heavier weapon, but I know it's going to run.
You were mentioning something about a gas rod system that is different from the regular M4.
That's correct.
Which is down there, right?
That's it right there. That is what's going to be used to cycle your bolt to a chamber the next round. That makes it extremely reliable. It's going to be essentially similar to an AK. I want you to know something about this weapon. H&K came out with a weapon for the military, for special forces, called the HK416. It's a gas piston system, very reliable. A lot of our special forces are using it. Some of the engineers that designed that weapon went over to SIG and designed this weapon. And they came out for the civilian market first. So, you know, if that gives it any credence at all as to the quality of this weapon, the SIG 5.16 bolt carrier, pretty standard, okay? You got your same, you know, your bolt, pins, retention pin. Alright, this is sealed off for the gas piston. Another thing too.
Where's sealed off?
Sealed off right here at the end. This piece right here.
That piece there. Right?
That piece right there.
So the other ones, they have like a shaft or rod or something sticking out.
It's like a tube.
A tube, yeah.
And that tube is there to catch the gas, to push the system back.
I see. Okay.
This doesn't have that. It's not catching gas, because that same gas that gets in that tube, the standard one, is going to dirty your weapon. Also, too, look if you look.
So this one is catching a piston here.
It's catching a piston.
Oh, I got it. Huh? So the piston comes out of the system here, and then pushes the bolt right here,
right there,
and cycles it, you know, back and forth.
Exactly. That's it. Makes it a much cleaner shooting system.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to show you too is the thickness on the back of the. Look at that. And also, it has stabilizer fins as well. See these fins? That is not standard. That is additional. It's thicker. It's a more robust system. It's a stronger system. And it has these fins to keep everything solid moving back. There's not going to be no wobble in the rear. These are all little things. All these little things add up, you know, to make a very robust shooting system.